Okay, is going to be difficult because I got Bob Ross's hat on and I got the shirt that King Ludwig was wearing, and there's more questions, and Ludwig has decided he's not going to take the questions. And I put this Bob Ross hat on, and if the Australian comes, he comes. So they're not coming. This happens for me from time to time, as you know. So, as the producer of this show, I have to go on camera when my actors won't show up. So I have to answer some questions, and Ludwig basically he said, dead people go to other dimensions or something, which is like, gobbledygook. It's like buzzwords. Nobody understands. I mean, if it's another dimension, how come you can't, like, communicate with them or something? It's very difficult, very difficult. Who is doing research on how to contact the consciousnesses of people that are dead? In the olden days, and back in the days of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who was the author of the Sherlock Holmes books, they had all kinds of people, usually wealthy people, um, who were very interested in contacting the dead. It was like the number one thing. If they had time off, they would get together and they would do things like seances to see if there was any kind of a medium that could actually do that, connect to the dead. And they didn't have scientific instruments like we do today. Some people are, they call themselves like some of the TV shows, like Ghost and Paranormal Investigations, and they got electronic gizmos that supposedly can pick up ghosts talking and things. And and I look at these reviews of people that on some of the paranormal Facebook groups, and they're saying these shows are totally cooked up. They're bullshit. This is just it's just acting. This is not reality. And people are watching this and they're thinking, oh, I can get one of these, microphones and one of these infrared sensors and I can go to a graveyard and find a ghost or something. If this is the best research that we have on contacting the dead, I'm sorry. It's poor. It's poor. But I mean, it's a really good question. We've got all these people at universities and psychology departments and physics departments, and nobody is studying what happened to the consciousnesses of humans when they dropped their body. Why not? What are you afraid of? I mean, is it that? What is the issue? This is the question that every human has. When someone dies, how do you. What happens? What happens? What happens? And I mean, these people keep saying that, what you are is consciousness, and the consciousness is there. And they say if you believe in the materialism, that is, that the physical brain is the source of your consciousness, that you're wrong. But these same people, maybe they don't have the money to fund the studies, but there should be studies searching for the consciousnesses of dead people. And some of these people, they say, well, we have like odd tales of little children that can remember their past lives, and I mean, that's really that sounds like something you can't really just call scientific, can you? I mean, you can coach children on these kind of things, what to say. So no, that's not really what we're talking about. Harry Houdini had a deal with his wife that if he died, that he would try and contact her. And if she used a medium, he had a code word that he was going to use. And only her and he knew the code word. And then she tried mediums, and if they couldn't come up with the code word, then she said, you're a fraud. You're a fraud because Harry and I had this all set up before in case he died. He did die, and you can't come up with the code word, so you're a fraud. So, I mean, that was a simply good test. Anyway, Why don't we research interesting things? Is it useful? Well, of course it's useful. People want to know what's going on when, wherever people go in these other realms. We've got all this technology to build atomic bombs and all kinds of stuff that we do research on that's about killing people, but we don't do any research on finding out where do they go when they're dead. What else can I talk about? So I don't know. I don't know. When people say they go to an afterlife dimension, I don't understand these dimensions. Dimensions for me are height, width, and length. 3D. Three dimensions that we live in. And the fourth dimension that we live in is time, which is not really a dimension because, as I've said before, we don't live in the past and we don't live in the future. We live in the now. We live in the now. So, this idea of living in time is incorrect. It's incorrect because we don't live in time. We live in the present moment. It's always, always, always now. Now, 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 now. And all we have is a memory of what we experienced in the past now, and we have no idea what's going to happen to us in the future now. We're only in the now. So this idea that the fourth dimension is time is incorrect. There's no such thing as time. It's just an artifact of clocks, setting appointments, the clock is going to keep ticking because of the spring in the old days. There's a spring in it that's going to make it Anyway, it's not a real thing. It's not a real dimension. It's like, in any now moment, I have a height, I have a width, and I have a length in my physical body, and so does everything else. So 3D. And when people say they're in some other dimension, string theories, I don't know how many dimensions they talk about. This is crazy. My common sense says no. So where did these consciousnesses go? Why would you have other realms, other dimensions anyway? What do you need them for? But if it's true that your consciousness survives your death and you get reincarnated, a consciousness is... we see consciousness as being concentrated within a human body or even animal bodies. Plants, in the book The Secret Life of Plants, they prove that even plants have got consciousnesses. But why don't we have really good studies on this kind of information? Why don't we have really good information on this? I don't know. It's the stupidity of humans. We'll invest, unbelievable amounts of money in everything except things that are really interesting. And now, I don't have deep pockets, so I'm not going to start, backing people to do investigations on this. But, there's plenty of money that is being spent on stupid things. I wish I had an answer for you. In the end, if you're going to go around wearing a lot of different hats, as we do here on this channel, and the different characters, we're going to have differences of opinion. And, I get all excited about all this stuff that I see on the YouTube, and I want to get you excited about this stuff. But I gotta tell you, this is a comedy channel, and it's made to make you laugh, and maybe it gets you interested in things, but I don't have any proof of any of this stuff. And I watch these videos. Today I was looking at pictures that were supposed to be from like the 1950s of an extraterrestrial from Zeta Reticuli, a little green man, and it's like, it looks like a Hollywood doll. I'm sorry. So, I don't see the proof of it all. Still, go out and have fun, enjoy yourself, and keep your eyes open and stay interested in this kooky stuff because it's fun. It gives you something interesting to talk to while you're having a Mai Tai.